All right, what's going on, everybody? All right, so for today's video, one of the subscribers or one of my squad mates had asked if I can do a video explaining Matchmaker within the game. So I have been doing a little bit of research. I can honestly say it's not like a deep dive in it, because I know that there's plenty of little hidden things that may play a factor into it, but I'm just gonna dumb it down to its simplest ability that I have to kind of explain Matchmaker within Metalstorm. And one thing that I have looked at is the wiki page on Metalstorm, which I know this take this with a grain of salt. Um, so from the best of my knowledge, okay, so if you're flying solo, pretty much what it tries to do is match you with other players that are around your same trophy count. So, like for my Skyhawk, for instance, it's at a 654, level 10, 654 trophy count. So that's what Matchmaker tries to look at when you're riding solo. It's more easier when you're flying solo to get matched up easier or quicker, just because it's just you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to go like you. It could be a full group. Your team could be 5 man of just solo players against a whole 5 man squadron. But that's only because when that happens, that 5 man squadron, Matchmaker tries to match them up with another 5 man squadron. And it goes through, the 5 man, four, three, two, and then eventually it may just land on 5 random people to go up against the 5 man squadron. That's close to your trophy count and stuff like that. Now, with the underdog, that is where your team's trophy counts are not as high as the enemy team trophy count. But that's also why whenever you fight in underdog matches, and if you're fortunate enough to win, you get more trophies than you would in a regular battle. I believe, like for first place, it's an additional 4 extra trophies, and 3, 2 is something like that. I don't remember exactly what the trophy count is, but I do know you do get extra trophies on top of just your regular battle. So that's one added bonus of you going into the underdog matches is that the trophy count that you get from it is greater than just a regular battle where everybody is pretty much equal in trophy counts. That is. So that is one thing to take into consideration when that comes into play with the matchmaker aspect of it. Let me take a look. I do have some notes over here that I'm looking into as well. Where did it go? Here it is. All right. Let's see. So, like I said, if matchmaker is unable to find a party, then that's whenever the matchmaker can either place you as the underdog or the enemy team as an underdog, and it's only because of the fact that the amount of players. And one thing that does factor into it is the server that you're on, and things like that's part of the aspect of things that can get really fuzzy or murky. Because there's one thing that I've noticed. It will switch you from server to server. Let me see if okay. So this is U.S. West California. This is one that a battle that I just fought. And the server was U.S. West California. And then see if this one's the same. That was the same. Okay, same thing. Let's see this one. And see this one's U.S. East Ohio. So it does switch from server to server. Um, Ohio. I've actually seen or been in battles where it was actually South America, and it's crazy how it can change, and that's primarily because of Matchmaker is trying to pair you up with. Here's another West California, so it can bounce from server to server, but it's because they're trying to match you up as much or as best as they can. I believe I was also in a squadron at that time. I think it was a two-man squadron at that time when we were doing it, and it was bouncing us from server to server, and we noticed that it's like, wow, that's pretty crazy that it's bouncing us from server to server. So that is one thing to keep in mind with matchmaking, and one of the factors that can play a key role with it. Let's see. So matchmaking factors can range from the search party skill rating, the aircraft levels, um, the eligible server regions. That's the one that I was talking about before with the different servers. That plays a factor in it also. And whenever you are in a party, let's say if you're just in a two-man party, or I mean, it could be all five. It doesn't matter. It goes off of the person with the highest trophy count. That is what it's going to base it off of. And then if you get like a little triangle here on the side above the team deathmatch with a trophy inside of it, that's telling you that there's a trophy disparity within the squadron. So let's say, for instance, if I'm flying my A4 Skyhawk with a 654 trophy count, and let's say I have a squad mate here that's playing something. Let me see one of my. Oh, I know which one. I could do the Rafale. See, my Rafale is at a 908. That's going to cause a disparity, not just the level, because this is a 12. The Skyhawk is at a 10, I believe. So that's going to cause a trophy disparity. So it gives you that warning, letting you know, hey, you might want to reevaluate your aircrafts and what you're playing because you have a disparity within the trophy count. Or if you feel comfortable enough to just say, screw it, just let it ride, then by all means, you can still do that. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be in an underdog match or if you're not going to be in an underdog match, but it's going to make it a little bit longer. It could make it longer for Matchmaker to get you into a battle. So that's one thing also to take into consideration and think about, not just for your game, but also for your squad mates game. Because if you're in with somebody who is at, say, like right now, I'm at level 97. Let's say if you're in with somebody who's at a 55 or 58, whatever, your experience is going to be bigger than theirs if it's their only account. Because I do know people that have multiple accounts. I personally only have the one account, um, and I prefer it that way. It's less things that I have to try to keep in check with everything within myself. But so if that's the case, and you know that that person may not be on the same level as you. I mean, they may very well be on the same level with you because they may only fly just two or three aircrafts and they just max them out as much as possible. And that is a possibility, but you got to know who it is that you're squatted up with and know their abilities, their limits, and stuff like that. Okay. And then so for matchmaking, all right, sorry, Raven, I'm doing this video right now. I'm going to reject it for right now, but promise you if you're still on, I'll squat up with you in a moment. Let's see. So, an aircraft with trophies is considered to be at least an upgrade at upgrade level for the purpose of matchmaking. So, like I said, I am reading this off of the wiki webpage on for Metalstorm. So, trophies with 610 trophies up to 699 trophies. Matchmaking is level 2. 700 to 779 is 3, and it goes higher on that from that point forward. All right, let's see. Factors that do not affect matchmaking: aircraft rank, pilot's profile trophy score, and special abilities and aircraft mods do not play a factor in matchmaking. And I have actually seen that before because I've been in my Rafale and I've been in uh like level 16 matches with people that do have mods and stuff like that. The best way to avoid unbalanced matches is to ready up as a full lobby of five pilots, where all five pilots have selected aircrafts that are at the same aircraft level. If the aircraft cannot be the same exact aircraft level, they should be as close as possible in aircraft level. So that is a really good factor to take into consideration, just to make sure that you're not limiting your squad, because of the fact that you may have somebody not at the same level as you, or you may be the lower level, and but you're trying to complete a mission and stuff like that, and that's all fine and dandy. And if you feel, like I said, if you feel comfortable enough to do it, go for it. Because I have seen plenty of squad mates and plenty of people that have been in squads that are at a lower level, but they've performed very well with their aircraft. So as long as you feel comfortable in it, go for it. Um, but I would definitely say that's the only thing I'm pulling from them right now with matchmaking. Let me see if I can find some more information. Wiki. They do have an advanced matchmaking. I'm not going to go into that. Like I said, I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, even on Reddit, it's pretty much the same stuff. But yeah, so to kind of like keep it simple, kind of like the acronym KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Um, just keep in mind of the trophy count, who you're flying with, the region does play a factor in it. So pretty much the one thing that doesn't play a factor in matchmaking is the abilities. That doesn't play a factor into it, nor does the mods. So the main thing is going to be your region, your trophy count, and then obviously the level of your aircraft, but more so the trophy count than the level of the aircraft. Especially if you're in a party. Remember, if you see that little triangle there with the trophy, there is a trophy disparity between this somewhere in the squad. So you got to know, find out who's got the trophy count, who's got the highest trophy count, and that does go the matchmaking does base it off of whoever has the highest trophy count. So you want to try to match it up as close as possible, just to make it a fair all across the board with your squad. Um, but like I said, also if you're comfortable flying with a lower trophy count aircraft, that's perfectly fine. Um, so it does work out. Just keep in mind of you may be matched up with higher trophy count players than what you may be if you go in solo. But I hope that helps out. Like I said, I'm not going to do a deep dive into matchmaking because there's just so many different variables that can throw it off that I'm not familiar with and stuff like that. I'm not an expert at this at all. I'm just going off of what I'm able to find on the web and go from there. Um, so I hope that answers your question. And by the way, I'm going to give him a shout out, Puka. Appreciate the request for the video. I know I hit you up in the game and said, that's a pretty good idea, and this is for you, big dog. All right, so until next time, I'll see y'all later. Oh, and by the way, one last thing, almost forgot. I'm still trying to figure out when, and when to do the live stream webcam or not. I'm still waiting on it to come in, but just let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Um, but till next time, peace.